everyone, this is Jennifer Beamer, owner-operator of ExpertlyDyed Art by Science, and this is the daily vlog episode number 55. And today we are going to be talking about these mittens. For those of you who have watched my Fiber Talk series will know that I reviewed Ryeland fiber, and I think it was probably about a year ago when I decided, in addition to doing these Fiber Talk episodes featuring the different breeds, I would try to make something with the yarn, because it was often the case that I either had some experience using that breed before and could talk from experience having knitted or woven with it, but some of these more British rare breeds I hadn't. So at the time of making that video, which is probably about a little over a year ago now, I was going to review them after, I was going to review Ryeland specifically after I had knitted with them. And the experience of knitting with a Ryeland was actually very, very nice. Sometimes when you are working with slightly coarser yarns, as you're knitting, your hands start to feel sensitive from the abrasion just working with the wool. It's one of the reasons why I actually put acrylic away forever. I just couldn't stand how it felt against my hands. And when I started working with Malabrigo way back like 12 years ago or something, 14 years ago, I decided never again am I going to use anything that is made of man-made fibers. So going back to slightly coarser wools, the reason why I wanted to make mittens with this was that it was soft enough to actually withstand, you know, being, oh, sorry, let me say that again. The reason why I wanted to use this is it was strong enough so that it would withstand me cycling with them all the time, because some of the other reasons why I wanted to try a more dense mitten, that's why I did the Fair Isle, was because I would go through a pair of mittens every single season. Like, no joke. I would wear holes through them, or they'd get felted, or like this part of the hand would just, you know, all the wool would rub away. So dealing with abrasion and cycling, you want to keep your hands warm, but you also want to make sure that like the mittens themselves are nice to wear, because you're putting your hands in them and they are sensitive. So I needed to find a balance between something that was really strong but also something that was very soft. Arguably I got that with Ryeland, and after I made these, the pandemic happened. So I didn't get to use them quite as much as I probably would have in a normal season, when I cycled to and from school, and I cycled to and from the coffee shop and picking up groceries in town and all those other things. So I didn't do as much cycling as I would before, pre-pandemic. But I will say that they have held up very well. The lining is also made from Ryeland. So one of the things about sort of the medium colored fleeces or breeds, you'll get some grays that are lighter and some grays that are darker. And so what I did was I chose the darkest part of my Ryeland to make the background of this mitten, and then I chose the lightest bit, which there wasn't a whole lot, but I chose the lightest bit of the Ryeland and I blended it with mulberry silk and pure white alpaca from a local breeder, and I carded up the white. And so I used that on the inside because I wasn't entirely sure how well it would hold up with this pattern. So I just kind of left the dark Ryeland 100%. But as a pure wool and as a blended wool, they spun very nicely. And as a pair of mittens, they've actually held up super duper well. And whenever you're making a patterned piece, whether they're mittens or something else, one of the things you want to bear in mind is good stitch definition, so that you can really see the pattern. and also how it abrades so that it doesn't get really fuzzy and mussy looking. So you can see here that the pattern itself still looks crisp and new. And because they are ambidextrous, it doesn't matter which hand you put it on, they look the same either way. I can't tell you which side has had more abrasion than the other, because I have cycled with these a little bit, but they don't really have much in the way of wear and tear. There are no weak spots, and only a few of these little sweater balls. As you can see, this little guy right there. And so I haven't done anything to like keep them in a nice way. I've just kind of used them as you would mittens, ironically. So yeah, I'd say that in terms of using Ryeland for a durable but soft outerwear item like mittens, it's really good. And I will be making more mittens like this in the future, preferably not as emergency mittens, because that is usually the problem I always face, which is, oh, well, this mitten is falling apart. I gotta make a pair of mittens now. So now I'll be able to actually experiment with color. I opted not for color for these because they were part of my Fiber Talk video. But I have a lot of this fleece, and I'm hoping to get some of it made available in the shop. I know I keep saying this, but time has been very short for me, and arranging time in the kitchen to get stuff dyed has been a bit of a fiasco this year and part of last year, but very much so this year. So I didn't actualize that thought until, you know, more recently when I had more time over the holiday break. But yeah, I just wanted to at least give an update review on Ryeland for any of those out there who were considering buying a fleece. They're very large and relatively inexpensive, especially in comparison to some of the finer breeds. And it blends super well, so you should be able to find a perfect compromise where you get some of maybe the added benefits of a wool like merino blended with Ryeland, so that you can actually increase the soft handle a little bit without having to sacrifice strength, because you'll get a lot of that with the Ryeland, and since they're similar lengths, you'll be able to get a pretty consistent spin, so you don't have to worry about drafting methods or, you know, what kind of headache that might be. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this. If you've worked with Ryeland, let us know in the comments below, especially if you watched my Fiber Talk episode, found some Ryeland and used it yourself, just to see you know, how your journey over the last year has been using this wool, and, you know, link to your Instagram, or, you know, find a way to post an image. I don't know, does YouTube do that now, where you can post images in the comments? It's just a matter of time, right? Anyway, so if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to hit that notification bell so that this video and other videos that come after, you'll be notified of them and won't miss anything. Thank you for watching. Bye!